아,
야, 얘 이제 정신이 드나 봐.
it was a voice I've never heard before. And for some reason my sight was blurry. Is this a dream?
야, 눈 떠. 깬 거 다 알아.
I heard the unfamiliar voice again. God, we beat you in the head. And you are not instantly awake and still drowsy? What the hell's wrong with you? Don't you know how to be a hostage? Is she talking to me? I didn't understand what was going on and was trying to open my eyes when someone grabbed my shoulders. She then shook me violently. I came to my senses at the shake. Right. Some girls I've never seen before got a hold of me and I fainted after.
정신이 드냐? 그럼 우리 말에 똑바로 대답이나 해라.
Who are you? I was trying to get up, my head throbbed too much. I frowned from the pain. But the unfamiliar girls didn't answer my question. Instead, they threatened me with a menacing voice.
알아서 뭐하게? 우리도 더 이상 험한 짓 하고 싶진 않으니까 그냥 순순히 대답이나 해라, 꼬맹아.
I am not an alright little girl, I am an injured little girl. Seriously, you need to put a comma after that alright.
그래. 묻는 말에만 잘 대답하면 아니, 앞으로 더 이상 나대지만 않으면 우리도 손대지 않을게. 우리 그렇게 무서운 언니들 아니야.
I'm pretty sure Voldemort put that as a slogan when he initially was recruiting for people. I'm only trying to make the world a better place. I'm not that scary, you know. I wanted to tell them they already hurt me, but I was too scared to say anything. I definitely think my head's hurting right now because they hit me. That is a good deduction, Eri. You could play Layton games with that. I couldn't guarantee that they wouldn't hurt me anymore. What do you want to ask? It's really a problem that I fainted after being hit on the head. So inconvenient. I should just give what they want and get out of this place fast. I wanted to stay calm, but I couldn't help but tremble. Something like this has never happened to me before. Why the hell do I have to go through this? Because Nameless is a dick. Yeah, don't cry, Ellie. That's just what they like.
너, 정체가 대체 뭐길래 매일같이 핫파이브와 함께 리무진에서 내리는 거지?
I own their bodies. Next question? A girl came towards me with an intimidating look. Oh. It feels as if the pain on my head is getting worse. I did think that someone might confront me one day because of that. But I never expected it to be this dramatic. I was shocked. No, really. I tried my best to stay calm while talking. My parents and the Hot Five's parents... I was trying to give the same excuse I gave to Soy and Shinbi when another girl cut my words.
그런 얘긴 들었어. 하지만 믿을 수가 있어야지. 아무리 부모님끼리 친하다고 해도 그렇지. 하루도 빠짐없이 리무진 타고 등교하는 건 네가 생각해도 이상하지 않냐?
One of my friends' parents, one of my friends' mother actually, was picking them up from school, and we walked to the nearest train station, and she was carrying my friend's bag and my bag because she offered it. Do you think that's weird? I personally thought it was a bit weird, but only because I'm not used to that sort of thing.
게다가 다른 의심되는 것들도 많아. 레드가 저번에 널 업고 양호실에 갔던 거 말이야.
God, how dare Red be a kind, caring person and take an injured person to the infirmary? That is just... that is so suspicious of him to do. Why didn't he do what every other sane person would do and just ignore the injured person bleeding? The girl seemed furious. Must be Red's fan. I did think that someone was going to think it weird. Well, she didn't think it's weird, she thinks it's suspicious. Those words mean different things. I just stayed still for a while and listened to them.
그것뿐만이 아니야. 그때 식당에서 태희랑 자연스럽게 얘기하는 것도 봤고 반줄에 갔을 때도 태희가 너한테만 특별 대우를 한 것도 봤단 말이야.
Oh, right, Tay did come to talk to us in the cafeteria. I kind of forgot about that. Also, I don't see him treating me special at Banjul. He treats me as a customer.
그날 레드가 너한테 빵 사다 주는 것도 봤어. 그리고 내가 레드에게 준 과자를 네가 낼름 받아가는 것도.
I'm shrugging my shoulders right now. What? Then are you... Oh god, this is really bad. The girl standing in front of me must be the one who gives Red biscuits every day. By the way, don't you have a phone? I'm pretty sure Korea also has a very short number for the police. Sure, they're probably gonna start beating you for trying to call for help, but... hey, police will hear everything that's going on.
솔직하게 말해. 무슨 관계야? 이상한 관계인 건 아니겠지?
I told you, I own their bodies. I am their owner. If you want to know more about that, ask them. I'm sure they'll explain it to you. Ask Yano, there's a reason why he calls me master.
만약 그렇다면 우리가 가만히 있지 않을 거야. 너만 핫5 사이에 둘러싸여서 특별 대우를 받는 건 꼴보기 싫다고.
You know, this is exactly why in my shoujo manga, I have these bullies, and I have my heroine point out just how stupid they are for acting the way they are. Typical bullies in shoujo manga. You know, hiding stuff, threatening to cut her face. You know, stuff like that. And she's like, oh, for goodness sake. A girl suddenly ran towards me as if she was going to hit me.
너 다른 데로 말해라. 안 그러면...
Okay, here's the truth. Yes, I own their bodies. Yes, I am their owner. They are dolls who came to life. If you want to come to my house, you can see them walking around half naked and you can see the dolls in the shelves. I know it sounds insane, but that's the truth.
그땐 나도 내 화를 주체하지 못할 것 같거든?
Yeah, blame the victim. Like, people shouldn't have self-control. I was already trembling, but now I was shaking noticeably. We were in a sketchy alley, so I felt more scared. What should I do? Call for the commander and help! Or use the police for phone call and stuff.
빨리 대답해! 대체 무슨 관계야?
I fucked them in the past before going into a time-stable loop or something like that, okay? I'm not sure myself! My doll from my past is fucking with my memories for some reason. I had to find an excuse better than the one I told Soy and Shimpy, but I couldn't come up with anything. Mine turned blank at the fear. I can't tell them the truth. Really, what do I do? 3 girls in front of me seemed so huge. What will happen to me if I don't answer? They'll beat the answer out of you. Will they try to hurt me more?
왜 말을 못해?
One of the girls who couldn't stand the silence any longer pulled something out from her pocket. All I could think was that I should escape. Why? Why do I have to go through this? I repeat, Nameless is a complete dick. He's probably watching with the wizard's help and is totally getting off on this. I just felt scared and resentful. Someone please. Okay, I'm not entirely sure which one to pick. Now, this one could lead to a bad ending, since we are going on with the whole idea of special powers and, you know, Super Sentai TV show stuff. But escaping doesn't sound all that good either, considering one of them seems to have some sort of weapon, and I have no doubt that they would follow me and still try to kill me. I'm gonna risk it and go for the red version.
네가 위험에 빠지면 내가 꼭 구하러 갈게. 그때는 숨겨진 힘에 눈을 떠서 널 멋지게 구해낼 거야. 어때? 나 믿음직스럽지?
I suddenly recalled what Red said as if it was a magic spell. Save me, Red! I called out for Red without knowing. But I realized as soon as I opened my mouth that there was no way Red would come. What did I just do? The girls will only get more furious. Sure enough, one girl fumed and started breathing heavily. I think she's having an asthma attack. Do you need medical attention?
레드? 너 방금 레드라고 했어?
If I stay here like this, I'm going to get in big trouble. But I think running away would get you in big trouble as well. Reality isn't like TV. Honey, you live in a world where a wizard exists who grants wishes by eating memories and has turned your dolls into humans. I don't think you can say that your reality is, you know, reality. It's like saying Harry Potter's universe would suddenly be incapable of having something magical happen because, by God, it's a universe where magic exists. No matter how many times I yell for help, a warrior won't appear like magic. Mom, Dad, they said they'd come today.
두 분 다 바쁘시니 어쩔 수 없단다. 바쁜 부모님을 이해해주는 착한 아이가 되어주렴.
Since when I was little. Did you Google translate this line? Either there's something missing here, or this is a very weird translation. There is no Santa Claus. My parents never keep their promise. And the warrior doesn't come just because you want him to. I feel stupid for thinking for a moment that Red might come. Did being with Red make me foolishly positive? I must have believed that what happens in comic books would happen in real life.
너 진짜 짜증나!
One girl started yelling, was about to swing something in her hand. Oh, I have to run!
거기 언니들, 잠깐만.
See, oh my God! We has a hero in. I heard a familiar voice. This voice! I opened my eyes and saw a face so familiar I wanted to cry. It was Soy and Shinbi, my bestest friends, the one who is sort of a dude and the other that has big boobs. You know, because that's all Soy apparently is to Eri, having big boobs, considering the previous video. Well, actually the beginning of this video. I was tearing up as our eyes met. Soy was sweating but smiling confidently.
이미 경찰을 불렀어.
Yeah, shit, if only I had done that earlier. Shinbi looked at me with worry and said out loud so everyone can hear. Also the people that must be on the main street and wondering, did someone just say police?
경찰?
I is so shocked that I am speaking Leech 110 exclamation point.
경찰은 안 돼. 우린 그렇게 나쁜 짓 하지 않았다고.
Yeah, I mean, we only, threatened her and we hit her and we were gonna probably kill her. That's not bad.
나쁜 짓이 아니라니? 저 아이 납치하는 거 다 봤거든? 이건 납치의 폭력이야.
You saw them kidnap me and didn't come to my help earlier?
이래봬도 업계에서 일하다 보니 아는 변호사가 좀 있거든. 그 사람들 만날 일이 생겼으면 좋겠어?
Shinbi, you don't need to work to know lawyers. You can just look them up on the internet and stuff like that. It's not that difficult.
안 되겠다. 얘들아, 도망쳐! 두고 보자. 어딜 도망가?
The three girls left in a hurry and Shinbi stopped Soy from following them.
일단 다친 데는 없는지 확인하는 게 중요해. 같은 교복을 입고 있으니 찾으려면 찾을 수 있을 거야.
그렇지.
Soy stopped trying to run off and came to me. And she crouched down to meet my eyes. Her eyes were always confident, but right now they were shaking with worry.
너 다친 데는 없어? 교문 앞에서 끌려가는 걸 밖에 망정이지.
And you still didn't follow them immediately?
정말 큰일 날 뻔했다고. 그 여자애들 손에 든 거 봤어?
Thanks for coming to save me. Soy seemed to be really startled. I was so lucky. If Soy hadn't seen me get dragged away, just the thought of it makes me flinch. Yeah, if Soy hadn't seen me get dragged away... I still don't understand why she didn't immediately follow them. I mean, I was unconscious. I obviously wasn't going with them in my own free will. Soy tried to help me up, but I couldn't. My legs were still shaking, so I couldn't move.
정말. 너 휴대폰 가지고 있었어?
I don't know, if I kidnapped something, that'd probably be the first thing I'd make sure to take away.
끌려가는 걸 봤는데 어디로 갔는지 도통 알 수가 있어야지.
So you didn't follow them to begin with?
신비가 교실에 가서 말하고 오긴 했어. 애들도 아마 널 찾고 있을 거야. 신비가 계속 연락했는데 받지도 않고.
At Soy's words, I took out my phone from my pocket and checked. There were several missed calls. Yono and Soy, and even Lance called me. I had it on vibrate, so the three girls and I didn't notice. Maybe it's me? But I notice when my phone vibrates. And it's not on my body when I'm outside, it's in a bag that I carry on my body, so technically it is on my body, but you know what I mean. It's not that difficult to not notice? Whatever.
반 아이들이 다 널 걱정하고 있어.
No call from Red. He must know about it yet. Of course, it's better if he doesn't know, but I felt a bit embarrassed about expecting Red to come.
일단 선생님께 너 찾았다고 연락해야겠다.
Wouldn't it be better to tell the police that no worries, we found her? No, I don't think that we need EMTs?
일어날 수 있겠어?
If you ask me, of course I can. Yeah. Simbi helped me up. If they hadn't come, by now I would have... I don't even want to think about it. I could only think about two things while they helped me to the classroom. The worst thing that could have happened if they didn't come. And Red. He said he'd always protect me. But reality isn't that simple. Red's not a superhero. Isn't superhero one word? But the fact that I thought of him during a crisis, does that mean I trust him?
돌아오셨군요.
Yano embraced me as soon as he saw me. His face was covered with tear marks. Thanks to that, my blouse was getting wet, which was causing it to be transparent, see-through, and my boobs being visible. Yes, there are going to be boob jokes throughout this video. Because why not? They already made jokes about it.
병아리, 과도한 애정행각은 자제해. 여자애들이 쳐다보잖아.
How dare you be so worried about someone?
다친 곳이 없어서 다행이에요.
I got smacked on the head, of course I'm not hurt. At Soit's words, Yano backed away as he spoke. In the meanwhile, Lance was peering at me.
다친 곳이 정말로 없습니까? 어쩐지 아까부터 뒷머리를 만지는 것 같은데요.
No, this is...
다치신 거예요?
No! I flinched at Lance's words, but I waved my arms. I clutched onto my head because I thought I had a bump. Lance is sharp as usual. You'd probably have a bump, depending on what they hit you with, which, I don't know, that might have been a stone? Or an iron pipe. You might have oh, not quite a laceration. You would have a wound, to put it simple. I mean, like, isn't your hair, like, I don't know, covered with blood? My mother fell on stone steps, like, several months ago. She ended up having a wound. Stone is very dangerous. But I didn't want to worry them more. Yeah, let's ignore my health and, just to make sure people don't worry. That's not going to backfire. Yano seemed to believe my answer, but Lance still looked suspicious.
걱정을 안 할래야 안 할 수가 없군요. 대체 무슨 일이 있었던 겁니까?
What do you mean, what really happened? It was nothing.
이유는 대충 짐작이 갑니다만.
Lance was careful of Yano and didn't spit out the word jealous. That's not a very dangerous word. But he must have guessed. Everyone in the classroom, including Lance and Yano, only know that I disappeared, dragged by some girls. I only told the teacher that I was hit on the head since I didn't want to make a fuss. And the teacher decided to not have you checked out by any sort of medical personnel because... It's not like a hit on the head could have some serious consequences, or you getting hit on the head and falling would totally not lead to a concussion. But now that I think about it, it was a good choice. If Lance and Yano know everything, they would never stay still. Yano would cry a river,
그 선생의 차만 타지 않았어도 이런 일은 없었을 텐데.
Actually, this wouldn't happen if I was confident enough in telling the girls to go fuck themselves. But of course, we're the visual novel heroines, so we can't do that. Because having a spine is apparently not sexy, when it actually is.
네, 앞으로는 리무진을 타지 않는 편이 좋을 것 같아요.
Yana was still sniffling. Okay. I mean, I don't think I'll want to get on the limo too.
힘들면 오늘은 조퇴하는 게 어때?
Shinru was still helping me stand and asked that. But I shook my head, which somehow didn't make your headache, which you must have from being hit on the head, any worse. No, I'm fine. I'm totally not somehow gonna suffer from PTSD or act strangely or somehow, I don't know, faint because I've been hit on the head. What do you mean I'd need to rest after a horrible traumatic incident like this? Oh, you worry too much. You silly gooses. To be honest, I'm not fine. Duh. My head still throbs and my legs, I just want to get in my bed. I think this sentence needs to be done differently. Like, my head and legs are still throbbing, or my head still throbs and my legs are jelly, comma, I just want to get in my bed. Or make it 2 sentences. But I don't want to be in the house by myself. You could ask if one of the boys might, go home early with you and just play a bit of nurse. I never like staying in the empty house by myself. But I'm not even well right now. Being alone in the house would be the worst thing I could do right now. Why? You'd go home, sure it'd be empty, but, you could, lock the door with a key or so if you want to feel safe. Then you go to bed, and you're probably going to be so tired from this event that you're going to fall asleep, and then you're not even going to notice that you're alone at home. By the time you wake up, the boys are probably going to be at home. If you're asleep, you don't really notice it. I called Lance and Yano. Oh, apparently they are pronounced They both came closer. It's a secret to the other boys, okay? It's a secret to everyone.
그래도 괜찮은 겁니까?
I just don't want to worry them. Please.
그렇게까지 말씀하신다면 일단은 알았어요.
Okay, thanks. As soon as they answered, I backed away from them. Don't want to get hit over the head again. I don't want people to misunderstand me in the Hot Five ever again. Well, shit, better you than kill them all and your normal life returns. Since I don't know how many more girls will try to attack me now, I'm pretty sure there are some guys that would try to attack you. Because of the Hot Five, yes. I felt someone stare at me while I dragged my exhausted body to the seat. I turned around and saw Lance standing at the door and staring at me. Hmm? What's up with him? Is he worrying about me? That doesn't speak well for Lance that sounds like such a disbelieving statement. No way. I shook my head. If you have a headache, you don't want to shake your head or anything like that. I've had really bad headaches sometimes. And just the idea of moving even a centimeter just to get a cold pillow or some ibuprofen for the pain was terrible. It's already lunchtime. Thankfully, I survived through the morning classes. I felt myself calm down after a couple hours. When I came back to my senses, I realized all the kids went to the cafeteria to battle over the food. I must have been too tensed up to notice everyone leaving the classroom. I headed out to buy bread. If I just walk to the end of the hallway, I'll get to the cafeteria. I tried my best to walk straight, but I felt my legs shaking. I see a couple kids in the same uniform walking far away. They immediately reminded me of the scary incident I had earlier. The scary incident that took place just a few hours ago. What if those girls come and threaten me again? What if I get dragged somewhere away again? I've never been this nervous to walk in the hallway by myself. I should have asked Sai and Shimbi to go with me. I think I was too at ease. I thought I would have calmed down by now, but my mind was in a hurricane again. What do you mean, PTSD? That thing should disappear. I mean, I'm not in danger anymore. What do you mean, delayed reaction? My heart pounds. Each and every student that passes by me feels like a threat. What if they are the girls I saw earlier? Man, those girls are very manly then if they're the students here on the left side.
미안!
I bumped into a girl who was passing by. I froze at a spot without knowing. I quickly checked her face and realized she wasn't one of those three. But I can't move. As soon as I realized my body was frozen, I turned pale. My hands broke out in cold sweat.
너 괜찮아?
I am currently having a massive panic attack, so clearly I am not okay. Please leave. I want to answer, but I can't move my lips. The girl standing in front of me asked with worry. But the hand that was about to grab my shoulders out of worry scared me so much. I shut my eyes tightly in fear.
무슨 일입니까?
Lance was coming towards us.
너는 핫파이브 란스.
잠시 실례하겠습니다.
Lance pulled at my stiff arm. My legs instantly started to move as if the ice was shattered. It's funny because he's the Ice Prince. Lance dragged me away and headed somewhere. Lance? I called him, but he didn't stop. Oh, good. I'm being dragged away against my will again. This time by a guy. This is totally supposed to be a romantic scene considering the music, which actually would be very scary in reality. I only saw his back as he marched forward. What's suddenly up with him? Lance took me to the school rooftop. After checking that no one was there, Lance let me go. And he loosened his hardened face.
당신 정말 괜찮은 겁니까?
You saw me have a panic attack there, so obviously I'm not okay.
아까 복도에서도 딱딱하게 굳어 있지 않았습니까? 대체 무슨 일을 당한 겁니까?
I was kidnapped by 3 girls who, you guessed correctly, were gonna injure me because they are jealous. What the bloody hell do you think happened? I thought you were supposed to be the smart one, Lance. I kept my mouth closed and didn't say anything. I'll only make more people worry by telling the truth.
자세히 말해보세요. 같이 사는 입장으로서 당신이 그렇게나 충격을 받을 일을 겪었다면 알아야 한다고 생각합니다.
There's no need to worry. It's already the past and...
되도록이면 다른 이에게는 말하지 않을 겁니다.
What's this if possible? He should have said he'd never tell. Lance came closer as I kept my mouth shut. And before I knew it, he drove me into a corner. Oh, how lovely! I am being intimidated by a guy into a corner. That is totally not going to make my trauma flare up again. I repeat, I thought you were the smart one, Lance. I couldn't back off anymore and we were so close our noses were about to touch.
말씀하세요. 무슨 일이 있었죠?
Lance interrogated me persistently. I felt weaker at seeing those serious eyes. Lance keeps to himself, so he won't carelessly tell other people. Should I trust him? No, don't. We have seen in his route. You should never trust him. It makes him do things. I took a deep breath and managed to start talking. Actually, I was dragged to an alleyway behind the main street. Those girls must have liked the Hot Five a lot. They kept questioning me on my relationship with you guys, and they threatened me a bit. I didn't bother to talk about how violent they were. Sure, downplay it. That totally is going to make them take you seriously. But Lance's face was hardened enough.
등굣길에 그런 일을 당하다니. 앞으로 리무진은 타지 않는 편이 좋겠군요.
Yeah, I think so too.
등굣길의 위험 요소는 일단 해결할 수 있습니다.
Now, the threats on your way from school or during school hours or in your leisure time, they're still going to be there, but, you know, I don't care about those times. Huh? They'll disappear just by me not taking the limo? Well, as I recently read, simply not taking the bus did do something in preventing black people from being repeatedly harassed by white people when racism was still much more prevalent. Prevalent. Was much more there. Why are you sighing?
당신의 안전한 하교 방법을 고안해봤습니다만 제안하기 싫은 방법이라서요.
Huh?
잘 들으세요. 레드가는 그 연극부에 입부하도록 하세요.
Or, God forbid, just make sure you walk home with your friends every day. What? I doubted my ears. It was a suggestion I never thought Lance would say. He was the one who was the most against me joining the club in the first place. Maybe it's me, but if you are asked to take part in a play, you aren't automatically written into the club. But before that, what does it have to do with me going to school safely? Red is a hero, remember? And the hero will protect you.
입부하세요. 당신의 이름은 진행위원인 제가 명부에 올려놓겠습니다.
Because you're a girl and obviously are too immature and incapable of writing your own name into anything. You just sit there and let the big man do anything for you. But wait, you can't just...
그리고 연습도 빠지지 마세요. 꼭.
I can't believe Lance is saying this. But Lance didn't seem so keen to say it either.
자, 이제 돌아가죠. 교실까지 같이 가드리겠습니다.
But I need to eat. Then again, the trauma might mean that you don't want to eat anything right now. You don't need to, and I was on my way to the cafeteria.
점심을 사러 가는 것이었다면 당신의 친구들이 당신 목까지 사러 갔으니 걱정 마시죠.
And my friends, my supposedly best friends, didn't tell me this. Why? Soy and Shinbi?
네, 아무튼 당신은 이상합니다. 그런 일을 겪고 나서 곧장 혼자서 점심을 사러 가다니 태평한 건지 어떤 건지.
It's not that she is relaxed, it was just she didn't realize what trauma she went through. It takes a while for the brain to process, like, oh my god, that was actually pretty dangerous. I had a fire in the kitchen. It took me like, I don't know, a few days or so to notice, holy shit, I could have died there if I hadn't noticed it earlier. Lance let out another sigh and walked towards the door.
자, 어서 오세요.
Okay. Lance marched forward and stood in front of the door, waiting for me. Soy and Shinbi went to get my lunch too. I felt touched at their subtle kindness. I went through something horrible in the morning, but thanks to Lance, Soy, and Shinbi, my heart felt warm.